excellent. No, brilliant. Come in. Is there anyone else following you?
Oh dear.
No. Is that the start of the show? With a dramatic start. Welcome to a pint of poetry and a dram of drama. Yay! Excellent. I already like you guys. Right. I'm going to explain. I wasn't sure at first by the look of you, but I do like you now. I promise. Right. I'm just going to explain who we are. We're a monthly open mic night that runs in Peterborough. And we are a sort of ragtag collection of artists, poets, actors that like to get together in a pub once a month and perform to friends, audience, everyone. We have come here to Edinburgh to showcase our talents with a slight change in our name. So we are called Pint of Poetry and a dash of drama, but today we are Pint of Poetry and a dram of drama. Oh, did you see what we did there? Okay, so to sort of introduce you to the ethos of what the night is about, I'm going to start with a short poem written by one of our artists. Each poet gets a round of applause so we can brave the audience with impunity. Some people say, this isn't Pint of Poetry, it's more like care in the community. Okay, now, you are in for a treat for the next hour. We are hopefully going to make you laugh. We might make you cry. We're going to leave you feeling warm and fuzzy inside with a sort of strange fondness for the wonderful city of Peterborough. And just for the record, it is a city. We have a cathedral. Okay? Now, I'm going to get us started with our dram of drama. So I'm going to do something which is possibly going to stretch you a little bit, but you look like an intelligent bunch as an audience. I've got faith in you. I'm going to play 3 different characters in the space of 6 minutes. I'm going to be doing 3 monologues. I'm going to start with a piece from a play called Orinoco by Afra Ben, and I'm going to be playing the character of a middle-aged African woman in the King's Court, explaining why the King can't attend his visitor because he's otherwise indisposed. The visitor has just been told that the King is busy with affairs of the state. Affairs of the state, did you say? Affairs of the state. What Chief Orombo means is that His Highness, our dear King, is keeping his visitors waiting whilst he attempts to insert his royal privilege into the comely virtues of a young maiden. Much ado, dare I say, over nothing. Were the King's penis a warrior, he wishes it were, it would have been beheaded long ago for persistent dereliction of duty. It is well known in the Seraglio that whilst the King never can sleep, his penis is forever nodding off. Your wives may have slept with a snake, Chief Orombo, but it is not the one between the King's legs. No, it is a worm, bereft of limb, flattered into thinking itself a reptile. I did tell your second wife, Kemi, when she said she was to marry you, that you had not done badly by her, for she is beautiful, and so is her smile. You bedecked her with gold and bales of cloth. But I could see by looking at you that you could not satisfy her in bed. What she needs in bed, I told her, is a man who, once he mounts her, will not let off until the roof falls through. Not some glorified pimp who farms out his wives and children to curry royal favour. Thank you. Okay, speed acting. I'm going to move on to my next piece, which is from Gut Girls by Sarah Dawson. This piece doesn't actually need much introduction. I think it speaks for itself, so I'm just going to get into it. I was in service. Oh no, not round here, no, in a beautiful house in Blackheath. And I was so proud of myself, or I was. The master and mistress were all right. Didn't beat you or nothing, no, there was above that. They had a son at Oxford University. Real nice-spoken, educated gentleman. he used to come home from university for the holidays, and when he did, he wouldn't leave me alone. I mean, in front of everyone, he treated me like dirt, but, well, he'd creep up on me when there was no one around. I fought with him. I pleaded with him. I even threatened him. He'd just laugh. His mama would never believe it of her darling son. And I wasn't the only one, and it wasn't the only time it happened. But when I fell, well, that were it. They were shot at me. I had nowhere to go. Nowhere. I walked the streets, and they picked me up, 6 months gone I was, to be checked for diseases. To them, I was a prostitute. And the way they look at you, and the way they treat you, and the way they blame you, and everyone blames me. But I didn't cry. Not one of them saw me cry. And when I went to that home, oh, it were awful. But it were heaven. And when they told me it were dead, I didn't cry. Why don't they tell you that birth is such a bloody, awful, horrible, painful thing? It were born with its cord wrapped round its neck. It strangled itself. The poor little tiny thing. And I remember looking at it as they took it away. And I thought, you lucky, lucky bastard. How much better if I would have been born like that. Right, thank you. Now, something completely different. I'm going to lighten the mood and get you all back up again for our next act, otherwise they're not going to thank me. Yeah. So I'm going to do a piece from a play called Hush by April DeAngelis, playing the character of Denise. Very close to my heart. No matter how together any woman is, I believe we all have a bit of Denise in us. Once I got really pissed at this party. And then I got really hungry, like you do after you've been drinking. And I devoured this bowl of peanuts, a whole bowl, to myself. And then I vomited the whole lot back up. I sort of regurgitated them. Thing is, they came out whole. I must have swallowed them down without any sort of chewing. Later someone remarked, they shot out my mouth like bullets. Ping, ping, ping. I'd been a bit depressed at the time. The reason I was depressed was because I've been working at this sandwich making job. I was living with this bloke and we're making sandwiches in his flat, and at first I really threw myself into it. I was experimenting with fillings. I bought a butter dish. Yeah. We used to drive around delivering sandwiches to businesses, only quite often we never got any orders. And then we ate a lot of sandwiches on those occasions. And that dealt quite a blow to my enthusiasm, I can tell you. Not to mention I wasn't getting the right balance of amino acids in my diet. And that can lead to personality disorders like shoplifting or slimming. Ooh, you know. Anyway, then we found cockroach upside down, a giant-sized tub of margarine. Now, it weren't me that left the lid open, but that was when the infestation started. You can never be alone in an infestation. Anyway, soon after that, he left me. He walked out, leaving rent arrears and 27 kilos of cheddar. I lay in bed, weeping for days. I don't know if it was love we had, but it did provide light relief from all the butter in. But that was before I became a Buddhist. You see, I used to watch the cockroaches basking on the walls. They say in the event of a nuclear holocaust, cockroaches will survive to inherit the earth. They used to walk around in a superior manner, like they knew they could survive intense heat, and I couldn't. Cocky bastards. Anyway, that had never happened to me now, you know, be used like that, because I'm changed, you see, transformed by experience. Sometimes I wonder what it's like, you know, for people that don't have enthusiasm for things, the way things are. Of course, there's always acupuncture. Thank you very much.